Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's VM Products training webinar on scent-driven technology. Before we start, I'd like to review a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. Here's a quick review of what you will see on your screen. To the left of your screen is the viewer where you see the presentation. To the right is a control panel where you can ask questions. The control panel will collapse automatically when not in use. To keep it open, click the View menu and uncheck Auto Hide Control Panel. You have joined the webinar in listen-only mode, which means you are muted. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions by typing them into the questions pane of the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation, and we will address them during the Q&A session at the end. As a bonus for participating in the webinar, everyone on the call will receive a 3-pack sample of Airzonix peanut butter chocolate to try, thanks to VM Products. Later today, you will receive a follow-up email containing the webinar recording. With that, I'll turn it over to Viserys' Director of Marketing, Andrew Asir, to get us started.
Thanks, Chris. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Glad to have you with us. Super excited to host Ethan and have him talk to us a little bit about the scent-driven technology and how Airzonix can impact your rodent control program. Just briefly on Ethan, as founder and CEO of VM Products, Ethan has really spearheaded this technology. He's originally from Lubbock, Texas, graduated from the University of Texas in Arlington in '95. And he has been in the pest control industry for the past 23 years. He lives in Colleyville, Texas with his 2 amazing daughters. VM Products is an exclusive partner of Viserys, and our goal is to be your preferred choice, whether in the US or Canada. We have an amazing sales team and fantastic partnerships with great brands like VM. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ethan to provide you this presentation. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. Want to say thanks to everybody who's joined us today, and wishing everybody out there a happy holiday season as we are well into it. So we're going to talk today a little bit about our Airzonix line and scent-driven technology today. Before we do, okay, second, there we go. Before we do, talk a little bit about VM. VM is been in business since 2003. We have a full line of products. We're obviously very well known for our rodent stations. Our snap trap line is a very notable line that is very popular. We also have our Easy Block rodent bait. We have multi-catch products, but we do have a full line of products that we've obviously added the Airzonix line to in the last year or so, and it's gone extremely well, and we're excited to share more about that today. Pretty proud to be in business for 20 years. Started in 2003, so this year was our 20-year anniversary. Obviously, this logo will go away here in the next couple of weeks as we will be into our 21st year, but we do have a lot of experience. We focus on the professional pest control industry, and we put a lot of effort into listening to the needs of PMPs, not just for what they need, but what their customer needs too as well, so that we're always innovating products that are value added to the entire process or the entire chain of where the products are going. So we have over 20 US patents, and we have right now we are 100% made in Arlington, Texas. So we have two manufacturing plants here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, and so we make our product here in the United States, including the Airzonix product. As Andrew said, we have a phenomenal relationship with Viserys. It's an exclusive relationship that's gone back nearly a decade at this point. And as Andrew said too, they have a phenomenal team, some of the best people, if not the best people in the industry. And we're proud to be a partner to Viserys and work with them on a daily basis to get groundbreaking, innovative products to our customers and be consistent, reliable in all that we do. So what we'll talk about today is the features, the science behind it, and the key takeaways of Airzonix. So This Airzonix all came from the thought process of the need for a non-food based rodent monitor. And I say rodent, insect, and wildlife monitor. There are some other products out of Europe that are similar type of products. And we wanted to have something that was best in class and that really worked in a way that other products could not work. So we also wanted it to last up to 90 days. That was an important component to what we were doing with this product. And we also wanted to get the scent farther out once the product has been placed. So those were kind of some key things that when we started the innovation process of inventing this product that we wanted to accomplish. So some key features, this is a proprietary technology. It is a non-food based with no food allergens. It doesn't mold, and we've picked proven scents. We also have a highly targeted application in the product itself. We have a universal cap design, which you can see in the snap trap here, and you'll see it in live cage renders later on the presentation. Non-toxic to people and animals, and it's used for rodent, insect, and wildlife monitoring. So it's a very versatile tool once you've got it in your organization. So the way we start with this is we have a proprietary plastic blend that we injection mold. And this proprietary blend is multiple polymers that we put together that has a unique a capability to absorb oils and then release them slowly. And so that's a really important piece of it, is because you have to have the ability to get the oil into the cap, the Airzonix cap, and then for it to release slowly so that you do get 30, 60, 90 days, depending on the application, indoor, outdoor, where you're at. And humidity, temperature changes can affect the whether it lasts 30 to 90 days. But then we have a heating process where roll over multiple days the oil in the cap together along with food flavors to create what is Airzonix today. But we all start with this injection molded cap that is the base, and then the next part of it is the next part of it is the food flavors that we add to the carrier oil, and then obviously this proprietary process that we literally we just made it up as we went along. It took us about 3 years to figure out how to get everything right, from the plastic blend to the molding of it, to the right flavors, to the right oils, to the right process. So it was quite the undertaking to do, but at this point we've had a lot of success with this product in the last year since we rolled it out. So one of the things that makes the Airzonix work so well is that the natural the scent that comes from this is a scent that is a natural scent that is in, I say natural, it's a synthesized scent that is coming from a food flavor company that we are replicating what you would currently be buying off the shelf at a grocery store. So like if you were buying peanut butter at a grocery store, we're working to replicate that exact same peanut butter. Where obviously our rodents, animals, bugs are commensal. They're living in the environment that we live in. They're eating the same food that we eat, and we wanted to replicate that same thought process. So that's a really important component to the success of the product, and how when we started the development of the product, that was a must. That it was not artificial. It had to replicate what they're currently seeking now. So the one of the other key components to it is that it is Airzonix caps are solid, leaving no messy residue, no need for cleanup, and it doesn't mold. Insects don't eat it, and that's a really important piece to it. And I think if you the whole concept is you have active technology where we're pushing scent out versus the passive of food itself. Food is obviously meant for humans to eat. We've designed this in such a way where we are trying to push that scent out into a zone, and that zone is pushing the scent out into that zone for the monitoring tool that Airzonix is. So we are designed for use in most snap traps. So it works in most snap traps, works in our EasyCat too as well. So that is a new product. You can go to our website and look at it and see how it works, but it works quite well for mice and insects. And we've done really well with using it in wildlife. We have a chicken flavor and a peanut butter chocolate flavor. So with the zip tie running through the holes of Airzonix, you're able to add it to the wildlife cages that you're using. And there's a lot of simplicity to that. We're available in multiple pack sizes. So you can get this in multiple pack sizes. The 36 and the 12 on both peanut butter and chocolate. And then we have a new Airzonix Lite that is coming out here very shortly too as well. So the peanut butter chocolate we currently have is an extremely effective tool, but it does have a very strong odor associated to it. And so in areas where you want to taper the odor down, that's what the Airzonix Lite is for. And currently it's going to be in a 12 pack. So one of the things that in the making of this product that we have that makes it work so good is that we are the carrier oil that's in the cap is being held in the cap by the polymer blend, and the food flavors are then mixed with the carrier oil. And as that carrier oil releases out of the cap, the food flavors are lighter than air, and so the food flavors just take off into the air, and that is really what makes it work so well. We've got a couple testimonials here. This is a pest control company here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they do a lot of testing for us, and they've had extreme success with it in all the aspects that we talked about today, including using the EasyCat in big dumpster areas in hospitals, universities, etc., for rodent and insect monitoring. So, oh, excuse me, sorry, I missed that. Start that.
Ethan, it doesn't appear like the audio is working for that part.
Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, that's not working. I apologize for that. So Greg's talking a little bit about a lot of the schools that they do. The one thing about Airzonix is non-food allergen product. And the reason why it's a non-food allergen product is that the food flavors that we put in it are not actually food. They're a chemistry that smells like food or smells like peanut butter, tastes like peanut butter, but it is not peanut butter. And so on all of our packaging, you can actually go to scan the QR code in the back, and it'll take you to a document that you can print out to use when you need to know that there's no food allergen to the product. So that's one of the big selling points for them, because they do use a lot of food. And the other one here is Sage Garvey. He's a pest control operator in the Phoenix Valley, and he does a lot of snap trap work. And in that, he's had an increased success rate in his capture rate, and not only just freestanding snap traps, but he uses a lot of our Easy Snap seekers and for roof rats. And so he has had a lot of success with that too as well. And I would play his testimonial, but unfortunately that's not working. So the kind of key takeaways is it's 100% non-food based. It's no food allergens, it's non-toxic, and there's no protein, meaning that there's no food protein in it for the food allergens part of it. And I think, one of the big key takeaways for me is a lot of times tools that are used, whether you're having to go to the grocery store and buy it. Now that's taken away. You can just call your Viceris representative and purchase the product, get delivered directly to you in a convenient packaging that allows you to quickly and easily use it when and where you need to use it. I think that the simplicity of the product, not having to go to the grocery store. Also, it's very clean, not messy. Oftentimes, a lot of these tools are very messy and hard to clean up, whether it be on the snap trap itself or wherever else you may be using it. So I think one of the real key takeaways, it's not on the screen here, is the simplicity of the product. And when you get the product in the samples, it speaks for itself. You will see the smell, the profile of the way it smells is exactly like what you think of peanut butter smelling like if you were buying it from a store, whatever brand you were buying. So that is a nice tool that you don't have to worry about running, picking it up. You just get the order in with the Viceris, keep it at your office, keep it on the vehicle, and you can quickly use it when and where you need to use it. Again, it's very convenient, fits most snap traps, even the wooden snap traps, the Victor snap traps. There is the way that we have the caps vented on the top, you can slide the cap directly onto the wooden snap trap, clamshells, metal kill bars. So that's nice. And again, with a simple zip tie, you can add it to any live cage. We have our Easy Cat that, again, you can use, which is a very great, good tool to use. It's one of our newer products. Again, it's highly targeted. We're being very methodical with what we're doing. The cap is universal. And again, you're using it in multiple categories, which makes it a great tool to have on your vehicle. So this is the QR code. If you put your address in, we're going to get a list from Viceris on who is going to get the samples of the Airzonix. But you can also scan the QR code and put your information in it, and that'll come to us too as well. So with that, I'm going to open up some questions. I know we have a full hour here, but everybody's time, especially this time of year, is limited. So I wanted to get to the point. This product really speaks for itself. Once you get it, there's not a lot of explaining. Once you understand it, understand how we made it and how to use it, then you'll quickly figure out how to put it into your business and make it work for your team. So, Chris, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do, Ethan. The first one is asking, customers sometimes ask for SDSs. Will an SDS be available?
Yep. Again, on the bag, all you have to do is scan it. I think it's on our website too as well. But we do have the SDS available, as well as the document that speaks to the no food allergens, which is probably is a very important document for especially anybody who's in and around schools, but just in general on the peanut butter chocolate. And the one thing I didn't say earlier is we have the light, and we also have at least one more scent that we're rolling out in the first quarter that we're excited about too as well. So you will find this product will continue to innovate, take customer feedback, and our processes are dialed in now that allow us to line extend this so that it can work in multiple applications. As we all know, especially in the wildlife space, that's a really important capability for us to have. So I throw that in there, Chris. Any other questions?
Yes. The next one's asking, can you store the package in a chemical box?
So the packaging, yes, you can. It's best if doesn't get too terribly hot, because of the heat. I would keep it out of extreme heat is my answer to that. So if it's in extreme heat, the carrier oils might start releasing. One of the things I did not say is that the bags are non-permeable bags, and so they keep air out of the bag, and keep the scent from getting out of the bag. The oils do not release from the cap until they're introduced to air. So once you take them out of the bag, that's when they start working. So when you store these, I would just keep them out of extreme heat. It won't ruin the product, but it will be more effective if you keep it in a more temperate environment.
All right, Ethan, the next question is asking, how long will the cap last in packaging?
We've had packaging. We've been, like I said, we've been testing this for a couple of years. I don't have a definitive number on that, but it'll last a year at least. It doesn't start the process of releasing the scent until oxygen is introduced to it. So that starts the chemical reaction of it starting to release.
Okay, gotcha. Um, Ethan, folks are coming saying the QR code is not working. Can you go back to the slide that shows the email address? They can also, there you go, folks.
Yep.
So you can send an email to dwight@bmproducts.com.
And then of course we're gonna get the list of attendees, and I'll
Right.
leave it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to understand this next question. It's asking how much is the smell diameter roughly? Like how many feet does it cover?
I we have, from a lab testing perspective, we have not gotten that data, so I can't give you an emphatic number. And obviously, rodents, animals, and insects are going to smell differently. But what I can say, it's going to be significantly better than any over-the-counter food you're currently purchasing. So some of that will be trial and error, and some of it also has to do with where you're at, what part of the country you're at, what the weather temperature is like, and what environment you're in.
Okay. Here's a question. It says any previous use for on bats?
Oh man, that's a great question that I cannot answer. But I'm going to take notes. I'm going to take notes on that. But I have no idea what bats like. So whoever asked that question, I won't forget that. So we'll see.
And you will see the questions in the report I do send to you, Ethan. So you
Okay,
will have
great.
a list of those as
Well,
well.
whoever asked that question at some point, what if I don't get it done before the holidays, the first of the year, I'll reach out and have a conversation about that, because that, all of our products that we invent, it's by the PMP for the PMP. Like nothing we invent is coming from crop or some other industry. We invent things that our customers need, and so without questions like that, we can't continue to innovate. So we appreciate that.
Okay. A couple of questions have come in asking, you mentioned heat, but will extreme cold affect the product?
No, it will not.
Okay. And the next one's asking, is this only used for indoor use?
No, indoor or outdoor use. Yep. I mean, again, the wildlife is outdoor use, and in the indoor use, some people don't have a problem with the original Airzonix peanut butter chocolate, but that's why we rolled out the lighter scent. We feel like it's a little more tailored to using it in indoor spaces. And again, there's such a big diversity of structures when you look at homes in the southeast of the United States, the Midwest have basements and crawl spaces versus Texas to Arizona only has slabs. We're trying to give you the options to give you what you need in the right environment, but no, you can use it in any environment.
Okay, very good. A question has come in asking, in slide 2, you mentioned rodents and insects. This product works for both at the same time, or do we need separate scents for each?
It works in the Easy Cat specifically, it works on both. Because again, all those insects, they're all looking for the food in the dumpster. So it works in both scenarios.
Okay, very good. Let's see, lots of questions here. So the next one's asking, what is the lifespan when released?
Again, that is going to be based on the temperature, where it's at, humidity. There's such a broad, there's such a diverse weather pattern, let's say from, LA to Miami to New York to Seattle to, Quebec all the way over to British Columbia. Like, when you look at the environment you put it in, it is going to be slightly different. But what I will say is that once those food flavors are released, they're released. And so we know 30 days is always going to be, it's always going to be there. And for the most part, 90 days too as well. And we've not seen any situation where at 90 days there wasn't still scent coming out of the cap. That being said, it does fall off. So your first 30 days is the strongest, and then it starts to tail off down to 90 days. And then you might even smell something at 120 days, but it's not at the same level as when it starts the process of when you pull it out of the bag and start using it.
All right. Ethan, this question is asking if you could talk a little bit more about Airzonix for use with wildlife and live catch traps.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen with it, and I can go, let me go back to that slide real quick. It is right here. It is just as simple as zip tying it in the trap. Like, wildlife is an art form on catching, monitoring for wildlife. And so, it's about obviously mostly placement. And so this is just a tool in that. And what it gives you is, it gives you, again, a scent profile that's going to go farther than chicken or, marshmallows or whatever it is that you might be purchasing to put into the cage. So just you take the zip tie, run it through the holes in the cap. In this case, we've got two in the image you can see, and then zip tie it to the back of the cage. And that's what we have seen multiple people doing and have good success with it.
Thanks, Ethan. This question is asking, is it labeled for use inside and outside animal housing, poultry houses specifically, and what is the heat tolerance?
Yeah, so that will not that would be up to the animal house. Like when poultry houses, to my knowledge of poultry houses, they have pretty significant rules on what they will allow to be used. And so I would say that would be push that information off of our website, and then I think they would answer that question. There is nothing toxic in it. Obviously, nobody should eat this, but it's all edible. It's edible oils inside of it. So there is nothing in it that is toxic. So there should be no issues from that perspective.
All right. This next question is asking, will you be coming out with a block like Nara lures?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
But a great question.
This one's asking, does it have an EPA registration number for the state of California?
It is not. Does not. Again, it's a monitor, so it's not. It's just a tool. It is not something that's actually doing anything other than monitoring.
Gotcha. This one's asking, once the package is open, do the remaining units need to be resealed?
Yep, and it's a standard resealable bag that is it's like something you get at the grocery store. So when you take one out, use it, and then reseal the package.
Gotcha. This next one's asking, how effective is it at attracting roaches?
We actually have done a university study on that has not published, so I can't speak to it. But it is a good tool to use for both rodents, insects, and wildlife. Yeah, so it's a good tool for it.
Okay. This person is asking, would you suggest the regular or light for attic spaces?
I would suggest the light for sure. That's why we came out with it.
Can this be used in a mouse trap?
We don't currently have a mouse for show. So have you used it? Yep.
All right, the next question is saying, when you say wildlife, what are the targets?
I would say anything in the wildlife space that you are going to use food. So like I don't have specific targets. I would just say if you were going to use food, this is a good replacement for that.
Okay. You discussed this earlier, Ethan, but they're wanting to know what temperature is considered extreme heat? Is it 120 degrees? They say it's
Yeah, I'd say
120 degrees there all summer, so can they still be stored in the vehicle?
in the vehicle, yes, just out of the sun. I would say, when if it's outdoors and it's 105 outside, then you probably don't want to put it into the back of the vehicle. You probably want to leave that in the vehicle. But it's still going to be the product is going to be fine. It's just the hotter it gets, some of the oils may release out of the cap in that extreme heat. But it won't ruin the product by any stretch.
Gotcha. This next question is asking, can skunk's bomb stinky smell compromise its scent?
Boy, I couldn't answer that, but that's a great question.
Is there any independent lab efficacy testing data?
So all of the lab data, when they define that, that's a big question.
Okay, maybe you can get back to that person once you get the report and see.
Yep.
Yep. Since these are non-toxic, can they be handled without gloves?
We suggest handle them with gloves. You can handle them without gloves, but your finger's going to smell like peanut butter. So we do suggest always use gloves with these, please.
Okay. It says, since it's a monitor device and since it uses essential oils, then isn't it EPA exempt?
It's not. There's no essential oils in it. It's edible food flavors. There's no oils in it whatsoever.
Okay.
And when I say oils, there's no essential oils in it.
Okay. This question is asking, are there any food allergens in the product?
So the food flavors are not. There are no food allergens because the food flavors are not actually food. They're a chemistry. It's a hard thing to understand, but it is something that's very prevalent in almost everything we buy at the grocery store. These food flavors are used. They're a chemistry that they have no protein, but they have no protein, and they're not food, but they smell and taste like food, which is really above my head, quite frankly. But it is a very prevalent technology that is used in the grocery store on every single aisle.
Okay. This next question is asking, what scent works best on rats?
I think it depends on where you're at. I mean, I think that's where we're coming out with some new scents. Obviously, the diversity of rodents is there's a big swing from mice to roof rats to Norway rats. So I think peanut butter chocolate is where most people are using it for monitoring now, and then we'll have some new scents coming out next year in the citrus kind of lane as we look more more feedback from our customers.
Okay. Okay, this next question is asking, would the lure work in an insect light trap?
That I don't know. It's something that is curious to me, but I don't have an answer for that.
Okay. Let me just scan, Ethan. I think we have gone through all of the questions that have been submitted. Obviously, a very interesting topic for the folks on the call. So thank you so much for presenting such informative information. Like I said, folks, everyone on the call will receive a sample from VM Products. You'll also receive an email later this afternoon that contains the recording of the webinar. And so with that, Andrew, I'll pass it back over to you if you have any closing remarks you'd like to share.
Just appreciation first to our customers in the U.S. and Canada. We've had a great year, and we're looking forward to continuing to deliver to you all and being your preferred choice, and appreciation to Ethan and his fantastic support all the way through with all of our sales team. Everybody, please have a safe and happy holiday. And for colleagues who may have missed this meeting, they will still get the email with the link, and then we'll be posting this online as well for folks to watch on demand. So thanks again, everybody. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Chris. Have a good rest of the week. Just another day away from the weekend, and happy holidays, everyone. Take care.
Happy holidays, everyone.